Hi there. For those that don't know me or need to put a face to a name, I'm Craig, the Group Scout leader, the one who's been sending the weekly email updates. I hope they've been as useful to you as they've been therapeutic for me to sit and write. Tuesday the 12th, today is our annual general meeting. For the very first time, it will be held online. This is a legal requirement as we are a registered charity and must be undertaken within 6 months of our financial year end. Now, our financial year at 11th Folkestone runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. So we're getting close to our 6-month deadline, which is why we thought we'd give it a go anyway. The AGM is a really important time in the calendar of any charity, and it's a chance to reflect on all of the great work our charity does. Its important position in our community, more so now than usual, and to scrutinise the work of those the Group Council, you, elected last year to run it on their behalf, and then elect those they wish to run it for the year ahead. You are members of the Group Council if you are a parent of a young person, if you are a volunteer who helps at the group, or if you are a patrol leader in the Scout section. As members of the Council, you're the ones electing the Executive Committee for the next year and approving the work that we've been doing over the past year, and a chance for us to share with you all of that exciting work. As we're holding this online, we've set up 2 ways for you to vote. First is you can vote in advance using the voting card that's live on the website at the moment until 6:30, in which case we'll turn that off. The second is to vote live during the AGM. Now, to do that, you have to be using the Teams live event link from our website. Because of the way the technology works, there is a delay of up to about 50 seconds, so please bear with us. It's new for us all. You'll be able to vote and ask questions using the Q&A screen inside the Teams live event webpage. Your vote or question will be picked up by our secretary, who will count your vote and answer your questions as best she can. Questions that need to be shared with the whole council that the secretary can't answer or everyone needs to be aware of will be read out by whoever's speaking, or one of the other trustees will jump in and answer the question live. But please remember, there is a delay between you asking the question and our answer due to the technology we're using. So even if we've already moved on, don't worry, we will answer your question anyway, and make sure that we've done that. If it becomes too difficult and the lag is just too much, what we'll do is we'll collect all those questions together and we will make a response video at the end after the AGM, and we'll publish it on our usual channels. Hopefully it won't be a problem, but we'll get there together. It's all new to everybody, but I'm sure it will work out just fine, he says. The last little thing I need to mention is that at this AGM, we are predominantly talking about the work the charity has undertaken over the past 12 months. Well, we're all keen to know what's going on at the moment and when we can go back to face-to-face scouting and have many questions. This AGM isn't the place for those questions, I'm afraid. We really don't know very much at the moment, any more than I've already communicated with the weekly newsletter, and as soon as we do know something, I will let everybody know. If you have any specific questions or things that you need help with, please do get in touch with me. You can email me replying to any of the newsletters I've sent, or you can give me a ring, and my number's all over the website, and I will be happy to help you. Hopefully we'll all be back soon together in the near future, as soon as it's safe to do so, and then we'll be able to do the most important part of our usual AGM, which is the awards event, where we celebrate the fantastic achievements of our members and our young people, and of course we have the delicious food. So that's all to come. Until then, take care, stay safe, and enjoy the AGM. Thank you very much for listening.
They know that I need the right electricity to move my disco feet. They know that I need a rhythm of ecstasy to get the disco feel. Baby, give me the song that keeps rolling all night long until the break of dawn. Baby, give me the one, 'cause we like to get it done before tomorrow comes. So don't act, don't turn back, 'cause we can feel the funky groove. Baby, don't distract, lose contact, 'cause we believe you got the moves. And baby, you seem to wonder why we drive in disco light. You know I don't, you know I won't get it down. You seem to wonder how my funky vicious love. You know I don't, you know I won't fail you. Shoes on my feet, move to the pounding beat, unstoppable in me. Lips I receive, tell me just what you need, a dozen disco. Baby, give all you got, 'cause this isn't good enough, can't take no fake or bluff. Baby, give me the one, 'cause we like to get it done before tomorrow comes. Oh. So don't act, don't turn back, 'cause we can feel the funky groove. Baby, don't distract, lose contact, 'cause we believe you got the move. And baby, you seem to wonder why we got disco light. You know I don't, you know I won't get it down. You seem to wonder how my funky vicious love. You know I don't, you know I won't fail you. So bittersweet, no need to hold up to the scene she goes. So don't act, don't turn back, 'cause we can feel the funky groove. Baby, don't distract, lose contact, 'cause we believe you got the moves. And baby, you seem to wonder why we got in disco light. You know I don't, you know I won't get it down. You seem to wonder how my funky vicious love. You know I don't, you know I won't fail you.
Welcome to our first ever virtual annual general meeting, celebrating the successes of 11th Folkestone Scout Group over the period from June 2019 to May 2020 and the financial year January the 1st to the 31st of December 2019. I'd like to thank you all very much for attending and being part of our fantastic group. Before we proceed, please can I ask that you look at the pages 3 to 4, 6 to 8 and 10, 11 and 12 and have the opportunity to post any questions that you may have. But please can I make it very clear that questions cannot be posted anonymously and you must use your name. So this year is somewhat different as we adapt to the changing world around us. Every member of the group council was sent a link to the annual report and a voting card, and thank you for those that have already voted. And it's not too late to cast your votes in advance. It can all be found on our website using the link on the screen now. Although you can also cast your votes live using the Q&A section of this broadcast, But as I say, this cannot be done via YouTube channel or the Facebook page. Any votes placed there will not be counted. Who are we? The Group Council. Scouters, Group Scout Active Support members, including the Group Scout Active Support Manager and Group Scout Active Support, Colony, PAC, Troop and Assistants, the skills instructors, administrators, advisors, patrol leaders, all parents of Beavers, Scouts, Cub Scouts and any other supporters, including former Scouts and their parents who may be admitted to the group by the group leader and the group executive committee or the group council. The district commissioner and the district chair are ex officio members of the Group Scout Council. So almost anyone with a connection to the group and all of those people can vote. So please do join in with the process and make your vote count. We'd like to welcome all of you today, and there's just a few quick introductions. We have the group trustees from the previous year, Karen Inglebrecht, Sarah Marshall, Pete Woodsford, Abby Sutton and myself, Amanda Sutton. We also have the District Commissioner, Tony Hogburn, who we'll also be hearing from later. Welcome, Tony. And the District Chair, Terry Reen. Welcome, Terry. We have a few apologies. Abby Sutton would like to make her apologies before we go any further. She's not able to attend tonight. Now, I've drawn your attention already to the pages 3 or 4 of the minutes from the last meeting, and I'm sure you'll agree, if we can cast our minds back to last year, it was such a well-attended AGM and the scones were lovely. And the awards evening was wonderful too. And it just showed what a great Group Scout 11th Folkestone is. Now, the minutes have been proposed by Steve Fairfax and they were seconded by Craig. Now, Craig's already mentioned there is a bit of a lag, so if there's any questions or comments at this point, do post them and we'll get round to answering them as soon as we get them through. But the minutes are accepted as a true reflection from the Group Council. Pages 6 and 8 details the annual report from trustees to the Group Council. Highlights, as outlined on page 8 by the Group Executive Chair, are focused around the extensive building project to modernise and update the centre, both aesthetically, operationally and the safety aspects. And this has been proposed by Steve Fairfax and was seconded by Craig Ward. Again, if you have any questions or comments around that area, please post them online, not anonymously because we cannot answer them. The report is accepted by the Group Council. We're going to move on to the financial report now, pages 10, 11 and 12. That sets out the group's financial position from the 1st of January 2019 to the 31st of December 2019. The building work accounts for the great deal of our expenditure if you cast your eye over it, utilising funds we have saved over the past few years in preparation, as well as the loan funding from the Co-op Community Fund and the district support loan. The final balances on the accounts, including the remaining designated monies for completing the projects. These have been proposed by Matey last and seconded by Steve Fairfax. Please, if you have any comments on our finances, please post your questions and they will be answered. Over to Steve.
Hello. At this point, the trustees all retire from their roles and stand down. I'd like to thank the committee for their commitment, support and encouragement throughout a full-on year with many decisions needed and a large amount of money to be managed appropriately for the benefit of our members.
Hello, it's over to me now. So thank you to all the executive members. They officially now have all stood down, so there are no trustees other than myself and Alistair, actually. So there's 2 of us left. I'd like to say a huge thank you to our executive committee this year. It's been one of the busiest, I think, for any exec, and they've done an amazing job with, as Steve said quite rightly, many decisions to make. And also, I'd like to draw out a few positives and strengths there that Steve, in particular, has had to manage a very complicated project, but not only managing that project, he's also had to manage us, and more specifically me, with various demands. And you can't see it, but I can see him laughing on his little screen right now, because it has been tricky, and he has had to balance the amount of money we have with what I'm asking for and what the other leaders have been asking for, but worth every penny, I'm sure you'll agree. So moving on then, I would like once again to nominate Steve Fairfax for the role of chair. This is a very challenging role still, because it in the current climate we're heading into and the situations we're dealing with, and it requires a really strong working relationship between the Group Scout leader and the group chair, which is why it's a nominated role. It means that I get to pick, and I know that Steve challenges me, and quite rightly so. And equally, vice versa, we have regular conversations that we don't agree on, but we get there in the end. So he's still chuckling. So I'm sure he will accept again, and he has, haven't you? Yeah. So you can't hear him either, which is great. So he has agreed. So Steve is now the group chair once again. Unless there are any objections, I'm just going to check the other screen behind me. Nope. I'm going to check my little window with the secretary in, see if she's had any objections. No, she is shaking her head as well. In which case, I can say thank you, Steve. Welcome back. And I'm going to send him back live now, so you should see him and not me, and then he can carry on talking.
Hello. Thank you, Craig. Now it's the election of the group officers. Matey has been serving as the group treasurer for many years, doing an excellent job keeping the finances straight and providing valuable and timely information to the group executive. Matey is proposed as treasurer by me and seconded by Craig. Please vote for or against in the Q&A section. Just wait for the votes to come through. Waiting for a thumbs up from Craig, and then I can move on. Okay, that's been accepted. So Matey is therefore reappointed as group treasurer, and she is very happy in the fact that she's going to do it again for another year for us. Now we move on to the group secretary. Chloe has been our secretary for the past year, working tirelessly to ensure we have accurate records of everything we should have.
Sorry, Steve, can I just stop you just for a moment, please? As a technical hitch, that apparently there's a problem with the Facebook feed. It's not working properly. So I am going to stop the Facebook feed. I'm really sorry if you're on Facebook. You can join the Teams thing, but there are 20 people on the Teams site, which is more than enough for us to be able to continue the AGM. So I am recording it, so I will put it out live and try and work out what's gone wrong. But I'm sorry to Facebook, but I'm going to cut you off. I think there we go. Okay, so I've cut off Facebook now. Sorry, so it's just the Teams, but we've still got enough people. So sorry about that, Steve, but you can carry on.
Thank you, Craig. So I'm just going to go back to the secretary and read that bit again, so we've got it in full, because I wasn't sure who heard what. So Chloe has been our secretary for the past year, working tirelessly to ensure we have accurate records of everything we should have, organising the committee and supporting good governance. Chloe is proposed by Alistair Sutton and seconded by me. Please vote for or against in the Q&A section. Again, we'll just wait a few minutes until I get a thumbs up from Craig. Okay, that's a thumbs up from Craig. So we'll move on to my next bit, which is the election of group trustees. So as we have had no nominations for new members to join the executive committee as trustees, and the following members, Karen Engelbrett, Amanda Sutton, Sarah Marshall, Pete Woodsford, Abby Sutton, have all agreed to continue in the role, we will now vote to elect them as a group for the next year. This has been proposed by Craig Ward and seconded by Alistair Sutton. please vote for or against in the Q&A section. Okay, thank you very much. Karen Inglebrett, Amanda Sutton, Sarah Marshall, Pete Woodsford, Abby Sutton are reappointed as trustees. At this point, I would like to also nominate Amanda Sutton as Group Executive Deputy Chair and Chair of the Group Council, as outlined in our Constitution as a role we feel is extremely important for our group. Much like the Group Scout Leader and Chair of the Executive role, the holders must have a close working relationship and complement the skills of one another. Any objections, please make them now, or we'll assume this motion is carried. Again, we'll just wait a few moments. Okay, thank you. I'd like to hand back to Amanda now, and she will lead you through the next couple of parts of our AGM. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.
Thank you, Steve. So we're moving on to section leaders now. So section leaders, by virtue of their role, have the option to take up a place on the executive committee as ex officio trustees. And to do this, they simply need to state their desire at the AGM. Ian Marshall and Catherine Ward have requested to take up this role, and I can therefore confirm their appointment as ex officio trustees for the next year. Amanda has supported the group for many years. This is Amanda Campbell, Bookkeeping Services, Folkestone. She supported the group for many years as our independent examiner to ensure our accounts follow the principles and rules of the Charity Commission. Amanda's report on her examination of our accounts for the 2019 financial year can be found on page 12 of the report document. I would like to propose that we utilise Amanda Campbell Bookkeeping Services as our independent examiner for the 2020 financial year, and that's been seconded by Alistair Sutton. Please can you vote for or against in the Q&A section? Thank you very much. We can appoint Amanda Campbell Bookkeeping Services as our independent examiner for the 2020 financial year. So there's been no changes to our governance that require the council's approval at this time. So I'm now going to hand you back over to Craig.
Hello, hopefully you can see me. So we've had a technical hitch as always. The Facebook feed has failed and the YouTube apparently didn't even start, so I'm really sorry. However, I am reliably informed by the many people texting me that it's working fine on Teams, so I do apologise. However, the number of people on Teams has shot up since the failure of Facebook, so that's a bonus. Thank you very much everybody for joining us. A huge thank you to Amanda and to Steve today for this. This has possibly been the most practiced and rehearsed AGM we've ever done. Normally we spend about 10 minutes before the start of the AGM just making sure everybody knows what they're doing, but they've worked tirelessly on this, as has the rest of the team, Chloe and Alistair and Matey, in pulling everything together that we have to be able to share. And that's just the tip of the iceberg really with our scout group. And I have a couple of other roles in scouting, and I get to go around the county quite a lot and to different counties and see different scout groups in action. And I always come back to our group and go, wow, you know, how good is this group? And our young people, they are amazing. They do everything they're asked. They give everything a go. And our leaders are just fantastic with the programs and the opportunities they provide. So a huge thank you from me to our leaders, to our executive, to all of our volunteers, to our young people for being amazing, because you are, and to our parents for the support, especially the support we've had in the last couple of months has been overwhelming and incredible. So thank you very much, everybody. I was going to hand over to Tony Hogman, our DC. Unfortunately, he hasn't quite made it into the bit that I can share him with you if he is on one of the attendees, and I can't tell, I'm afraid. So he is very, was very keen to join us. So thank you for that, Tony. It's fine that you can't, that's not a problem. And I know that he was going to say and announce something that I found out about at the beginning of the week, and I've been biting my lip and to stop myself posting it on Facebook and our website. But we, 11th Folkestone, were awarded the county's growth trophy for the most growth in the district for this last year. We now have 140 some odd members, which is incredible. It really is, and it just shows you what a good program this group offers and the opportunities that we give our young people that everybody wants to join, which is great, and I'm really pleased about that. This is our 9th year of continued growth, so 9 years we've been getting bigger and bigger and bigger steadily. Not too big, not too fast, making sure every step of the way we are growing at a rate that we can manage, and that's fantastic. And it again comes back to our fantastic team of volunteers. So well done, 11th Folkestone. Normally we'd have an amazing awards night and we'd be giving out trophies left, right and centre, and I really miss that part. So we are going to do that when we come back. We are going to have a get together where we can have everyone from every section can come in, hopefully when social distancing allows. They can get their awards, we can celebrate their successes, we can give them the trophies and the certificates, and have a really fantastic night to celebrate our amazing scout group. So I really look forward to that. And really, that's all I've got to say. Thank you for joining. I'm really impressed with the number of people that are popping up on the list there. Thank you to everybody that voted in advance. It was great. It means all the voting's actually done before we started. We didn't really need any live voting, but it doesn't matter anyway because everything has been agreed, which is fantastic. Thank you very much. So on that note, I've got to do multiple things now. I've got to transfer you back to Amanda with the right mouse because I'm using a different mouse. It's very complicated. So I'm going to put Amanda back on. She's just going to wrap up for us. And again, thank you for coming along. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of our scouting family. So Amanda.
Thank you very much, Craig. As Craig had said, I'd like to thank everybody for their support more than ever during this really difficult time. And we'd like to continue that support from parents. So if there's any parent that would like to be involved as a section leader, please message Craig or message Alistair Sutton, and they will give you information on how to proceed with that. Also, if there's any parent that would like to support a fundraising team, that's such an important role as well that we would really appreciate to hear from you. So all I can say now is, from the Group Council Chair, congratulations to everyone on their achievements and thank you all for attending. Thank you.